Hello and welcome everyone back to the League of Ungentlemanly Warfare of Anno 1800. I know it has been quite an eternity and I will tell you a bit more about it soon. But first, we are of course continuing with our big Let's Play series and we are now asked to activate the new DLC, Seat of Power. Yes, of course we want to do that. And we want to keep the current settings with the influence. We could make it easier, but nah. Not a huge fan of that. That would be way too easy. So we are going with that. Yeah, a little change of plan has happened in the meantime. The original plan was to focus on the investor production first again, after solving these little things with the expeditions.
Your people are miserable.
But that is something that I don't want to do anymore. For a very simple reason. Wait, we have negative 104 explorer workforce.
Please, we depend on you.
Everything needs to be fixed, of course. Yeah, simply because we are still going to build a new capital and capture Trelawney with the Sunken Treasures DLC. We simply should not forget that. So that is something that I would actually like to focus on first. That we are going to capture Trelawney now. We'll start building there the new capital. We'll slowly migrate over productions. And then there we will also build the palace and everything else. I will hopefully be great. And it will be a pain in the ass to transport all the animals and museum pieces over there. But fuck it. Seriously. Oh, now people are better again, yeah. Sure. So, and... do we actually have a sales pipeline? For that, that is also the thing. We got here way too many trade routes. Not really, we are producing gas. Ah, airship basics. It is being transported by an airship. Okay, so that is... ah, there it is.
Waiting course.
I love airships. Yeah, that will also be a goal to actually use airships on all the trade routes. Simply because I love airships. So there's that. Good, we have here still so many expeditions, but again we are going with the Sunken Treasures expedition. Migrating that capital will be a pain in the ass, I can already tell you. Through all of that, I mean, we have put so much effort into building this large museum and the large zoo and also the botanical garden. But I personally believe that we actually can do better. Yeah, and also maybe not one big museum, but maybe several smaller ones dotted across the entire city, across the entire capital. That could be awesome. We will see, and at one point we will also have to destroy the pirates.
Aye.
At some point. Yeah, military is definitely something that we still need. Optimization, we can also put a bit more into that. Yeah, that is definitely how we are going to roll here. Artifacts, we got here one set even full. Affects residences on this island and compare house.
One final look. Impeccable timing, as always.
Yeah, that is totally okay for us. I mean, not that we can change anything. We are totally lacking any form of additional stuff.
Workforce shortage.
Again, yeah, we got so many sets. It will be quite a challenge to get back into the game again. I mean, the last time I played the save game was like 2 to 3 months ago. So, we will see. But now, expedition, sunken treasure expedition.
Good captains
The queen has vanished. Searchable has asked you to chase her over land and sea and find out what on earth she's playing at. Okay, navigation, diplomacy, hunting. I hate hunting and diplomacy. But again, it is
fair.
an easy expedition. So there's that. We get here navigation 50. Yeah, of course that was only available for salvage ships, but the game does not tell us here. Okay, so we got that. Navigation 50. And the ship type itself also gives that. I wish I would here have a precise summary of values or something like that, but apparently stuff like that is totally overrated. So here we got Explorer, the telescope that also increases diplomacy and hunting. Here we have another one for diplomacy. Here we have a hunter. Okay, so we got here hunting 30. Diplomacy 45. Navigation 90. So if we have something that could further increase our hunting, then that would be great. I mean, those items give at least something like faith, but I believe we are not getting any hunting here. Force, medicine, diplomacy. Diplomacy, medicine. Yeah, then let's go for that and hope with hunting for best. I mean, with 50 hunting, we are not that ill prepared. Diplomacy, we have now 30, 50, 75, so that should totally be enough. And now, of course, we need rations.
This city is a magnet for genius.
Yeah, and you have to wait now, bitch. Don't have time for that. Really? Cigars count as rations? Yeah, we will do that. And start the expedition. So, who has joined us, my dear? Another physician. Okay. I could all that in there and get more tourism income. I don't know. I think it would actually be great to have in the end one zoo per set or something like that. Also, I'm not really a fan of the structure that we have here. I already have ideas on how we could do it. I hope I have here some free space for experimenting. So, what I recently discovered for myself was the style that I used for Anno 1602, the good old Barcelona style. If we are experimenting now here a little bit. Yeah, that would be, we have here these different houses in size. In these little living islands. And in the middle we have then space for the public buildings. Okay, now we have here, of course, a perfect space situation. And then we have here these investor houses who form these islands. In the middle we have some public buildings and maybe some more investor houses even. My question would be, would that actually fit in?
You reached a new milestone.
Of course not. So that is something that would have been built between all these different islands, but we could put in here, for example, a bank and all the other stuff.
Came safe.
I mean, what do investors need aside from, yeah, bank, members club, and electricity, and that's it already. And for electricity, we could simply place in such a position an oil power plant. Yeah, that actually could work. That actually could work. And also the members club is totally no problem. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that this is the way we will actually go about it. And then in the end we will, with the new capital and with the palace, I mean, this is very likely going to be big. Yeah, let's take a look at it first. I mean, it costs 1 million, though money is really of no concern for us, also for building materials. We can already experiment a little bit with the palace here. I mean, that is the new DLC, Seat of Power. You can now build a palace, and you can improve your city in various ways. Okay, new achievement already. So, and here we have different departments, apparently. Build additional wings to widen the range of your palace's main building. The number of wings you can build increases as your profile level grows based on global population. Okay, that works again like in Anno 2205 or in 1701. We can simply build our own palace out of different modules.
To the edge of the world.
The palace itself has a range, so at the moment we are here. Ah, now it actually does go a bit further. Okay, what other modules do we have? We have here an end piece. We have a cross piece. A T section. And a corner. So we have a lot of stuff that we can actually do. Okay. Then we have here... Whoa. Department of Administration, plus 50 items per town. And there we have affects town halls and street range of the palace. Plus 200 storage. Affects residences in range of connected town halls. Reduced needs, 30%. Residents consume 30% less fish, sausages, bread, canned food, and chocolate.
The festival has ended.
Affects engineer residences in range of connected town halls, influence plus
The
1.
city has grown uglier.
Affects town halls in street range of a palace. Additional. Wait. That actually seems powerful. So we have here our town halls, and then we have 4 slots instead of 3. Yeah, I already know what kind of bonus I'm going to use here. Ah, okay, and then we unlock with our attractiveness level. Effect towns and street range of a palace attractiveness plus 200. Yeah, not really important. Department of Culture plus 20% chance. Affects words fair, bonus rewards plus 1. Affects museums and street range, influence per module plus 10. Okay, so far the museum is not in range, but now I want to test it. So if I'm right, we will have a lot of more influence. I mean, I'm not going to build here for beauty now. So please forgive me if what I'm just doing now is ugly as fuck. Yeah, we now reached it, and here we got way more influence available. Nice one.
Game say.
Okay, overview again. Or we go here, effects for zoo. Effects to garden, museum, but in street range. Attractiveness per complete set. Interesting. Superior specialists replace the regular ones visiting your city. Okay. Plus 10% productivity for production buildings within range of a trade union. Affects all farms in range of connected trade unions. Occasionally produce extra grain hops. Okay. Affects all heavy industries. Extra goods. Electricity boost plus 50%. Workforce reduction 50%. Ooh. Affects trade unions in street range of palace. Additional socket again. So, what I've seen, there's a second building.
Your people are miserable.
The local department. That one we can build here, and it also has a range.
A special edition for a special happening. This makes everybody
Unveiling of
happy.
Palace Herod's government's ambition for more efficient lawmaking. Extracare refuses to reveal how extravagant building costs will be paid for. See page 6 for our own Walker Hager staring
Buck up,
crown.
you giant squid. I promise I won't tell. You're dead, milksop.
And here I can do it. So, Department of Labor. Extra goods for heavy factories. The crashes, if they count as heavy, I mean the grass smettery should actually. That way I can influence all of them. And I can build one per island. Oh, that's nice. So, Department of Welfare. Alrighty then. So, and here we can go. Department of plus 10 area of influence for all public buildings. Affects artisan residents and engineering in range of connected universities, variety theaters, power plants, and banks. Bonus income plus 50. Attractiveness. Yeah, we will simply go for more attractiveness, and it worked. Okay. Affects all coastal production buildings in range of connector harbor master offices.
The festival has ended.
Affects depot, storage plus 50. Oil storage.
Your city has grown uglier.
Additional sockets. So the last one here would be useful. The rest is, well, doesn't really matter. So and that means if I now go for this, and the question is, are we actually using trade unions? We are using trade union over here.
Game saved.
And here as well, but not that
Perhaps
much.
it's time you met our Davy. Thinks like one of us.
That means if I build here now a trade union,
Admiral! Admiral!
yeah, you have to wait now. I'm experimenting. So we don't go for that, but instead of for this. And we see a change in the used workforce. Okay. And if we move that one a bit further. Bam. We got even more workforce for our engineers. And nice. Okay, so the palace is an extremely powerful tool for fine-tuning. So, and here we got, for example, one where we can equip another item. The question is, do we even have something interesting that we can socket in here? I mean, interesting for me would be now the banker. Because all the people are supplied with a bank, and that would give additional income. But yeah, it's not that important. Okay, so much for the experiment. So if we build such a big palace... And this is just with 15 modules. If we go with all that we can, based on our global population. Sorry for that noise. If I recall correctly... Yeah, it increases the range of the local departments as well. Holy shit. What have you done, Blue Bite? And here now the influence goes through nearly the entire city. And here we could now reduce the needs. I mean, we even see a highlight of what all would be affected. Thing is, we don't have that many engineer residences, so that would only give us a bit of influence. So the Open Mines Act is actually already the best for us. Now, of course, Guildhall Act, that would increase our attractiveness so heavily. I mean, let's just place here something really cheap to increase our effectiveness. I mean, This is now, again, I'm just experimenting and cheesing. Because I want to see the possibilities of a palace. So we are going now here for our increased palace level. By socketing all these rare items.
Game saved.
And that should allow us to heavily increase our attractiveness even further. So we are now 6,686. You notice we can't do much with that, so we go for the guild hall. And we are now at 7,200. Even having now another one. So we could now go here for the Heritage Act, which gives us more influence, or could go for the right to remain. But then we probably lose our museum again. Yeah, we got 490 out of the cultural modules. Here, +1 item slot for trade unions. Oh, there are so many beautiful things you can do with that. Reduced need for all drinks, which would be perfect for our coffee and champagne production.
Your city has grown uglier.
So now they will drink way less coffee. At least that so far goes with theory. Okay, so I now officially fell in love with the palace. There's something that I don't want to miss, and now due to all the safe workforce I could now even upgrade the city way further. Yeah, what have I created? Though I really wish the palace would have more different modules, but together with all the parks and so on, you can actually already do some nice stuff.
54 guests in total, excluding ourselves.
I also hear the modules are not sticking that well together.
Yes, I bumped into.
That's a shame. Oh well, having such a big palace in the center of the city. Yep, I have great plans. So, exhibition, a royal progress. It is no coincidence that the tray of roses left in Her Majesty's wake has ended in this pretty continental town. But what could have caused her to cross a narrow sea, poppy-flagged fields and mythical river valleys? She has not simply waltzed over for some ambience. This is the heartland of her maternal family line, and she is here with a purpose. Then ask a respectable-looking local if they've seen a fugitive queen.
It's beastly, Admiral.
They don't take much convincing to tell you what they know, especially when you seem so sympathetic to the challenges of peasant life. Passing foreign queens expect your silence for nothing, and yet it is you who must die in the fields for your masters when the harvest has failed. They grumble in recognition, nothing that the queen considered the town to be beneath her, and went off to stay in a nearby castle. It's now just a question of exactly which of her landed relatives she came here to visit. Yeah, we go for diplomacy again. Use your knowledge of the royal family to make a guess. Your familiarity with the Teutonic dynasty stands you in good stead. Whispers at home are growing ever louder on the subject of the queen's suitors, and her cousin Ernest seems to be one of the front runners. You visit the outspoken prince consort at his ivy-clad burg, and having presented a letter Sir Archibald gave you, he nods and leads you through its low, rib-vaulted ceilings past gilt candelabras and canvas portraits. Though cordial, Prince Ernest seems a little twitchy. Tell him your only wish is to help the queen. Very well, agrees the prince, once your persuasive speech has come to an end. My dear cousin asked me to help trace our shared lineage, and to establish the validity of certain claims she believes she has through ancestral ties to La Corona. He removes a map of the continent from his neatly arranged bureau. Your diplomatic immunity may prove important in the days ahead. What she plans may put her at risk, he sighs. There is to be a mast ball in Madagascar. You will find her there. Okay, continue. I'm just happy with that.
Game saved.
There's not much we can do here or here. Is that from actually increasing the production? Oh yeah, stone roads here help heavily. So they will now, from time to time, produce extra resources. Oh, I totally forgot we also have these passive bonuses. Also here we worked mainly without trade unions. Oh yeah, that means that we will focus around trade unions in Trelawney a bit more than usual, because they suddenly became way more important. So let's hope the next phase of the expedition starts soon.
The fire is out of control.
A fire, once more. It's gone.
The fire left ruins behind.
By the way, did I even use trade unions here in the south? Yeah, for example down here. So... Of course, here in the south, I'm not able to build it. So one region where we could actually need the boost, for example, for the coffee production. Yeah, like here. Of course, there it is not available. I call bullshit. That is severely disappointing, unfortunately. Severely disappointing. But hey, in return we can build flower beds.
Too many changes, I hope. Fruit doesn't, indeed taste half as bad. It's important to be true to oneself.
Of course, we could also build here in the south a botanical garden. Which wouldn't even look so bad. If we would one day think about a southern capital. But again, a real southern capital would actually require that we are able to create a shared workforce pool. Which we can't. Okay, time to go back to the Arctic.
All hands at the ready.
Start with construction of 2 airships. That sounds good. So, next part.
Too cultured for us.
Masquerade at Monegasque. Following Prince Ernest's advice, you travel by train along the sparkling Côte de Croix to a grand station in the sophisticated Principality of Monegasque. Ruled for 6 centuries by the Piedmont family, today the streets of Monegasque are filled with color and light, for it is the grand opening of its very first casino. The theme is animal masquerade, and you see disturbing furred and feather costumes at every turn. Convenient for a queen going incognito. Prince Ernest gave you his own invitation to the casino, but you'll also need a costume. Well, shamelessly walk in without a costume. If your head's turned, but the doormen don't stop you. I'm a special guest of a Piedmont family, you say with a winning smile as you brandish the invitation Prince Ernest gave you. I expect to donate great sums to the cause, so you forgive my choice of attire. One of the doormen hands you a black eye mask, which you put on, reserved no doubt for exceptional circumstances such as this. Once inside the casino, you debate your best bet for finding the queen. Try to mingle with the high society.
Game saved.
Your knowledge of royalty does not desert you. In a circle of the most elegantly dressed people, you spy a beautiful sequined elephant, in whose hand is a foul mixture of claret and malt whiskey, the queen's favorite. Your eyes meet and hers widen. She drops her glass and there gasps as she rushes for the exit. By the time you force your way outside, her carriage has set off its speed. Wave another cab down and get in. God damn it, woman. Just talk.
If I tried to explain the formation of passion for the subject.
So what do we have here? Fly to Sky Trading Post. How? You want me to fly there with the new airship, or what is your plan?
The festival has ended. Your city has grown uglier.
I don't think I understand the quest.
The people celebrate your leadership.
I tend to forget how quick airships actually are. That is the main reason why I want them in my trade fleet as the main vehicle. Especially compared with the steamships.
Your people are miserable. Your people are miserable.
Really? You need even more coal? So that should now make things a little bit better. Come on, give me more airships. I want them. But yeah, I also believe that was it now with this episode. I mean, we actually did quite a lot. And I think I'm now a bit back into the game again. I mean, I could go now
You've got the credentials.
with more World's Fair exhibitions, but not now. I will focus on Cap Trelawney, build them there the new capital, and everything will be fine.
Set our bearings right.
So, the Cape of Trelawney. The Queen fled the casino at high speed, and your own carriage is some distance behind. Your driver thinks she's headed up to the coast, perhaps to a ship. You can either keep up your pursuit or else rush to your own ship, which, if the orders you gave to the captain have been followed, should be waiting in the Monegasque marina. Yeah, get to the ship. Your ship is indeed waiting on the marina. Quickly you arouse the captain and his crew and weigh anchor. Before long, twinkling Monegasque is behind you, and from the next bay you spot an impressive ship in the distance. How was she able to leave port so fast? You either can continue to chase Her Majesty, or send her a message of peace with your signal lamp. Yeah, we are good. We are staying in pursuit. The Hemsworth ship is most impressive. The Queen calls over to you as you bring your ship alongside hers. Meet me at the Cape of Trelawney. You point your ship towards Trelawney, the southernmost point of the old world, where not 15 years previous a great naval victory was won over La Corona by the heroic Admiral Nadaski. The lap of victory is there waiting for you, and the Queen receives you warmly aboard. You are finally able to ask why it is that she ran away. Admiral Nadaski reminds me of Madame Nadaski from Anno 1701. So...
I am not here to escape domestic dissatisfaction, but to address it. Our nation has lost its pride, but pride can be restored. This place, Trelawney, is the site of my father's great naval victory over our rivals, La Corona. We were the victors here at Trelawney, yet all the spoils remain in the lap of Poseidon. The scepter of Capon has long granted its bearers indisputable authority, but it sank to the depths, along with La Corona's fleet. I can still smell Father's victory here at Trelawney. It is his greatest legacy. Finding the sunken scepter of Capon, the trophy we never claimed for that victory, will remind us of our past glories and restore the people's faith in their monarch. We shall build a new capital of the realm here, perhaps call it Crown Falls, in view of the sparkling cataracts you see the island possesses. This may be my greatest legacy. Help me build it, and find the scepter, and I shall designate you Warden of Trelawney, my official representative in these waters. A humble outpost now, perhaps, but it promises to become the largest capital of my empire.
Yeah, that is definitely more than enough space. Also, we have no AI
Ship
opponents.
constructed.
Oh, so much iron available and so on, and I will not use it. Pollution, not great for investors.
Battle path set.
But yeah, we are going to deal with that in the next episode. For now, I will go back here. It's time to find a thumbnail, and I believe having here this overview window would actually be a perfect thumbnail for our cause. And yeah, in the next episode we are going to start settling on Cape Trelawney. I'm looking forward to it. Finally being a bit in the early game again, so to speak. But with unlimited stuff. And with that, I'm going to wrap up. I hope you enjoyed it. If yes, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. It's always a great feedback for me. I try to upload in the future more often. Now, thanks to the coronavirus, I'm actually able to work from home, giving me a couple of hours more time per day. So I should be able to divert some of that time towards YouTube again. See you soon. Bye bye.